Hi, welcome back to Kyle's Kitchen. We're gonna do a little seafood feast tonight. I'm really looking forward to it because I crave seafood constantly. We have fresh redfish. It's Atlantic redfish. This is gonna be very similar to like mahi-mahi or grouper. We also have Atlantic oysters tonight. I love them raw. And we also have some Carolina shrimp. These are 16-20 shrimp, and what that means is there is between 16 and 20 of them per pound. And last but not least, the gorgeous blue crab. It's actually a soft shell crab. The side item, we're gonna do a really healthy quinoa and brown rice blend. A little bit of canola oil. We're gonna actually toast the grain. You can see here, some of the brown rice in there has actually been parboiled, so it cooks, has the same cooking time as the quinoa. And you can actually grow quinoa at home. It needs very little water. And with this toasting method, what it does is it kind of brings out the flavor, brings out the nuttiness. And crank the heat a little bit. You want it about medium-high. And what we're gonna do is just toast it up in the pan. You don't want to add anything to it. This actually came with a little seasoning packet blend. Slowly it's starting to toast. Called for 2 cups of water. It looks and smells awesome. I can smell the cilantro already come out of it. Bring it to a boil, cover it, reduce the heat. Take my Redfish Magic, which is my blackened seasoning. Just to give it a little heat, or a little more heat I should say, I'm just gonna throw a little bit of that in there. We've come up to a rolling boil. Now I'm gonna cover it and reduce the heat, and that is so that we can absorb all the liquid and it'll start to puff and fluff. Let that go for about 20-25 minutes. So now we're gonna do a little blackened redfish. Get the pan nice and hot. And normally I do this with melted butter, but I'm pretty sure we don't have any melted butter, so I think I'm gonna use canola oil. We're gonna put a little bit of canola oil on my hand. I'm gonna rub it all on that redfish. We're only gonna sear it on this side. We're not gonna do too much on the other side. And we're gonna get our seasoning, which is the Redfish Magic, and it just so happens that we're using redfish. Depending upon how spicy you like it, I like quite a bit of spice. I'm gonna kind of press it in there. So we got a nice blackening coat on the fish, and we're gonna go right into a hot pan with the beautiful skin on the fish. It's gonna be nice and hot, and then we want to hear a really nice sizzle. So, and that is a very, very nice sizzle. Now you want that pan to be on high heat. If I didn't hear the sizzle, then something's not right. So I'm gonna try to get under it as best I can. That is what a blackened fish should look like. That's gorgeous right there. It's just a deep, dark, golden brown, and that's how you want it. If this was something like a thin fish, like flounder or tilapia, that doesn't have the skin on the side like this one does, after I flip it, it'd go about another 1-2 minutes, and it would be done. This one is a little bit meatier, so we're gonna go ahead and finish it in the oven. When you put your blackened redfish in the oven, you want it at about 300 degrees. 325 is okay. 350 at the max for about 5 to 8 minutes depending. But you do want to press on your fish to make sure it's firm. We don't want to dry it out at all. We want to keep it nice and moist, and the oven's going to kind of help us do that. Now we have some Atlantic oysters. I don't have an oyster knife, so today is going to be the first day that I try and hopefully successfully open these beautiful oysters. I'm going to use an old, just a regular old butter knife, and you want to have it the cup side down. This is what I mean by cup side, is the oyster's going to be held in here. What you want to do is find the groove. There's going to be a groove. There's a little bit where you can actually get in there. And sometimes you may see oysters like this. You wonder if it's dead or alive. Alive is fresh, dead is no good. If you see an oyster that's opened, what you want to do is go like this. You want to close it. Now if it stays closed, which this one is not, then it's no good. You want to throw it away. But I see a little opening in this little guy. Aha! We have success. Okay. Peel her back like that. Me personally, what I like to do, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of hot sauce, sea salt. Cheers. The harder it is to open it up, the fresher the oyster. The flavor is simply amazing. Beautiful redfish. Pretty much bounces back. It's still moist. The fish is cooked through. Because I've been doing this for a while, I'm not going to use a thermometer. If you are a little new to this whole thing, use a thermometer. Make sure it's at 145 degrees. This is not sashimi grade fish. This can't be served rare, medium. This has to be cooked through. But if you had smell-o-vision, you would be in heaven right now. Alright, now with the raw oysters, if you are going to shuck them and serve them at a party, you want to make sure they're over crushed ice. Serve it with a mignonette sauce. A mignonette sauce is really simple. It's just shallots and white wine and herbs. It's brought to a boil. with the shallots and the white wine vinegar. Excuse me, I said white wine, but I meant white wine vinegar. It's finished with fresh green herbs like scallions, parsley, cilantro, whatever you like. If you're gonna fry them, you can just douse them in flour, salt, and pepper. Pan fry them in a little bit of a smoky hot canola oil, something of that nature. Nothing like olive oil because that'll burn. Canola oil has a very high burning point, so that'll be perfect. All right, so we have some beautiful Carolina shrimp. These are wild caught. Take your hands, get the leggies, and slowly peel off the outer shell. I like to leave the tail on because it's kind of a nice little handle. We want to go down the back side of the shrimp. And what you want to do is look for that little black strip. It is deveined, and that's how you want your shrimp right there. All right, quinoa's done, so what we're gonna do is fluff it. It smells delightful, and it's a nice, healthy side item. So we're gonna do a scampi style shrimp. Mince 2 cloves of garlic. Classic scampi ingredients are butter, white wine, garlic, lemon juice, and typically parsley flakes. So we got the shrimp going in the pan, medium-high heat. Gonna add the garlic. A little bit of lemon juice went down. We don't want the garlic to get too brown because it gets bitter when it gets brown. So, a little bit of white wine. Kind of reduce that white wine down. Then do a little bit of parsley flake. When the shrimp get pink, they're done. You don't want to overcook shrimp because they get rubbery. All right, so we do have a soft shell blue crab. What we did is we dusted it in flour and a little bit of blackened seasoning. Get your pan super hot. When the entire crab is red, it's done. We still see a little bit of that opaque right there. We'll let it go. Tonight we have done the blackened redfish, scampi style Carolina shrimp, raw oysters, soft shell crab, which I'm getting ready to devour. I can't wait. And this has been Kyle's Kitchen. We appreciate you coming back and look forward to being with you next time.